Hello and welcome to the STB Racing League Season 19 here for the Austrian Grand Prix for Tier 3. Here on a Wednesday as usual, we're back with it again for Tier 3 as usual every week. Back at it again in the land of trees. Couldn't start it off with that famous quote there. People have done some laps already. 4.3 is currently the benchmark to beat by KTM Viper 45 with a 4.301, which is, I believe, a pretty decent lap. I'm trying to think what pole position was yesterday. I believe it was a point. I think it was a 0.5. I think it was. It might have been a 0.4.5, so only about 7-8 tenths off. I'm pretty sure that time might tumble down a bit more later on. From yesterday, we should know what strategy is for. Actually, saying that was a safety car, but should be a one-stop, soft and medium. But it is a bit of a little bit of a stretch, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm on board of Red Hawk here. Let's get a full lap in on the set of mediums. I'm not expecting anything too insane in those mediums. I mean, they're not exactly a bad tyre, but I think not exactly a good tyre either, to be honest. They're not really the rated tyre for in qualifying, but you can make it work. We saw down and we do a decent lap on them, even though we weren't meant to do as style mediums. A little bit missing apex there. Watch out for that curve because I spun there once in qualifying yesterday and he's backed out of it. Bit of a weird time to back out, not gonna lie. Not think it's a bad day or anything. Captain Mag, I believe, has just finished off his lap a little bit careful, a little bit gingerly. Oh, again, he's just turning a bit too early towards the last corner. It's going to compromise his exit. I think he just lost all of it. Yeah, he just lost all of his time in the last two corners there. Very easy just to get that lap line wrong. KTM Viper, I think, is on another lap here. Stay on board with him and see what he can do on a fresh set of soft tyres. Yeah, so open braking just after the 100 metre board, just before as the rest of the tyre board goes out of view. Just click the curb, keep into third gear, short just to fourth before you're not curving outside. But easy to spin, use all the track in your here, and he's backed out of it. So again, there's somebody else backing out just at the exit there, last of the end of the 2. He just thinks he can do a better lap. Barker's taking a very unorthodox line into there. Not sure the best line to take through turn 3. Turn 4. I think it's a very tight line for turn 4 for turn 5, which isn't really a corner. Turn 6, just a couple of stabs with the wheel with a compromised line. He's having to short shift down to 5th there. It sounds like it's something you want to keep it 6th in the corner. Barker's then through, not Barker, sorry, Red Hawk. Down to 5th into second to last corner. That should really be a 7th gear corner, not a 5th gear corner. So he's not committed, but it's still a 4.3 despite that. 4.4, sorry. But that second to last corner is a 7th gear corner. That's what I take anyway. I think 6th in the race maybe, but down to 5th in qualifying is a bit bizarre. SC Melody's on his outlap, finally getting out. Probably just came off the water. It came out of the water closet. I think that's where he lives, to be honest. Red Hawk, I think, on the lap is violated. But we've got to watch out for turns like, preferably second last corner, penultimate corner. Just what Hybrid was going through there. Turn 1 as well. Turn 1 is very easy. Just overcommit just a little bit and just get. All you need is 1mm off the off track, and then that's done. And you see what Melody did there? Exit turn 8, exit turn 7, out through turn 8. You can't use that into a curb like that. Let's see on board of Melody. He's already done a 4.6. I've actually seen him do the lap. Let's see on board of him what he can do. That's a 4.6 is banker. And I've actually some impressive stuff this lap. Oh, he's lost the rear end. It's not exactly good. He hit the curve very awkwardly there. didn't quite commit to the didn't quite commit to the apex. Coming up to turn 3. Turn 2 doesn't really exist. Got hooked in very nicely. Traction control doing its work. No wheel spin at all. Shifting through the gears. Up into 8th gear again. Braking just at the 100 meter board. Get the car turned in nicely. Using quite a lot of curb there. A little bit gingerly on the throttle. As the car slides on exit. Traction control kicks in. Okay, car for here. 5th gear. Oh, a little bit of understeer. A lot of understeer. I had that in face and I just crashed. STB Mardi has crashed from qualifying. Well, there isn't much surprises there, but to be honest, I did the exact same thing once in a race around here a few weeks ago. Did the exact same thing, but I avoided retiring my car. I mean, I got damaged from it, but I did the exact same spin, the exact same space, and the exact same part of the barrier. But I actually managed to get away with it with only minor damage, but then again, still hurt my race. Got Maldi's done in qualifying, but I'm not sure that might be still good enough for top 10 maybe. There's still plenty of laps to go. It might be only 3.5 minutes left, but don't forget this is the shortest track on the calendar in terms of lap time. 1-minute 4s, 1-minute 3s. We do around here. Red starting his lap, but stay on board with him because obviously Maldi wasn't able to complete our full onboard lap. Turn 1 a little bit uncommitted through there, just didn't really use any curb at all, to be honest. It's gonna hurt his flow through down the straight, braking very late, not using any of the AstroTurf. It's really gonna pinch him into turn 3. Getting on the power instantly, taking the shortest line possible. It's not using any curb, he's using absolutely 0 curb, and he's not using all the track, and not using all that track, it's just going to lose so much time compared to the guys. Because if you can use that AstroTurf and an extra curb, you just open up the corner just that much more. And it's so important to try and make the track as wide as possible, to gain as much time as possible, so you can carry as much speed through. But F1 is just not doing that, and he's not even close to that apex there. Last corner seems decent. That line you should be doing in every single corner, but he does it in the last corner, and it's maybe 9. So you can see, just not using all that track is really hurting him. If he was really using those curbs, and using that AstroTurf on the outside of those curbs, and really committing the car into those corners, and using every inch of the track, that's a light point 4 there. But, you know, I don't know, some people don't prefer it, some people don't. I don't know, Con's not quite using the curb, but he's invalidated. I believe this and next lap, track into the last corner, quite easy to do, especially when you're trying to start a lap off, when you're really trying to get a good exit. Stay on board with Francis. Nice off-board cam there. Abu Dhabi was retired. I think the exit was 10-1. That's why he's retired there, for retiring on track. Luckily, there isn't too many cars behind him. Car pulled over nicely. And that's Francis off the track, and he's invalidated. Very easy. It's actually quite easy to understeer through there. I've realised in this game. As the track drops down, the car goes a bit light, and as you turn, you think the first bit of the corner is not too bad, but the second part of the corner, the track dips. And that's where you suddenly get that bit of understeer, and that puts you offline. You've got to really make sure you stay committed, you keep the car hooked, and just be a little bit more cautious of the power, and just try and avoid going a bit wide. Keep the car hooked in. So it's better to, especially in the race, it's better to lose a couple of tenths and not get a warning than fully commit off the track and then get a warning for it and then risk yourself getting a penalty later on. There's lots of yellow flags going on right now. People letting people through. Nice. That's nice. Sentence of the day by Matthew. Stay on board with Red Hawk because a lot of people are just on their out laps. He's a 10th up, but there's only sector 1. There's only realistically one corner, or 1.5 if you want to count turn 2. And he's out turn 3 and coming towards turn 4. This is turn 4, not turn 3. 4th gear, so much understeer. There's just no grip in that front end at all. I was up by Red Hawk's car. He's His car looks like he's got no front grip, and then his rear is so unstable, and the managed to just have a piece of ice on his car, on the tyres instead. As Fresh does a 4.2, he's proving his pace from last week into this week. Oh, he's using a lot of curb on their entry to that second to last corner. It's going to unsettle his car if you don't have the right setup on. And coming towards the line, doesn't seem to be a decent. Doesn't seem 4.7. Yeah, I mean, improved by over half a second, but it's just not even close to really challenging the top 10. I mean, he's 10th off. It's just turn 4 and turn 5. Sorry, turn 4 and turn 6. Hairpin in the fast left. Just lost so much time. Just understeering. I mean, there's probably about 4/10 there. You just helped the car out. Getting back on a lap right now. Let's see what it's like. There's a lot of people finishing laps off. Got McLaren finishing the line. Oh, never mind. He's smashing into the barriers. He's not the first person to do that. We all saw Chungus do that in the race yesterday. Well, I saw it in person. I was behind that, I think. Or maybe I think I just overtook him at that point. I'm not sure. But got last cars coming through. I've missed some people. I think Lucas got to P4. Actually, no, he was down a lap, so he actually was slower that lap. Captain Bag. Oh, he's made a mistake. That's his lap over, and I think that might be everything done the fresh Red Hawk, but he's invalidated. I think that might be it. It's just hybrid. He's only 2/10 up though. He's not even going to be in the top 15. And he's invalidated. What? He got away with that? He went 4 wheels off the track there, and he got away with it. But it doesn't really matter anyway, because he's only jumped 1 position. So it's not like he gained a lot of time anyway. But here is your results for the Austrian Grand Prix for Tier 3. And again, Fresh for, I believe, the second time in a row, the second consecutive pole position in Tier 1. Let's hope he can transfer this into a victory this time, like last week when he crashed last week. We've got Keith and Viper in second, we've got Barker in third, finish off the top 3, and then we've got Lucas, Jackson, Pete, Gabriel, Aaron Ocon, STB Melody, Captain Bag, F1 Red, Red Hawk, Francis, and Pirelol. And after that, it's Hybrid, Papa Devils, and F1X Matador. F Matador, I believe, crashed out before I even started streaming. Well, that was your results for the qualifying, as we now wait for the cars to be ready. Like I said, it should be a one-stop race. There's no rain, I believe, as I remember looking at the chat. There was no rain to be seen, so it should be soft and mediums. I should be maybe expecting some of the top 10 outside of the people outside the top 10, if they have the ability to, is to go on to the mediums to start, avoid damage, keep up with the soft runners, pit a little bit later, get the soft tyres on, slap everyone to the end. But, you know, that's not how it always works. You saw what Lima did in Tier 2 yesterday. He held me up for 10 laps on a set of softs that were, well, going to be 20 laps all by the end of the race. I mean, 20 laps in a set of softs is ridiculous. I mean, my tyres were 60% at the end of the race, and I was on the mediums. So, the soft tyres will probably be like 80 by the end of it, but fair enough. I mean, he ended up getting taken out of that race, so you couldn't actually tell whether he actually made it to the end or not. But we are looking at Tier 3, and we're waiting for them to start their formation laps. Yeah, you can see everyone's gone for the medium tyre. Everyone's gone for that alternate strategy. Everyone outside the top 10. The only person to actually start inside the top 10 on the mediums is Aaron Ocon. He managed to qualify in a set of mediums. Actually, not. I didn't see that. But that's a real decent effort around here. It's a short track. I mean, what was it, 0.7 he probably did roughly? From where he position he is, 0.7, 0.6. He's probably only about 3 or 4 tenths off on a set of mediums. And I believe there's about half a second gap between the two. So theoretically, if he's on the softs, he'd be going for pole position, to be honest. So watch out for Aaron Ocon on those mediums. I'm not sure, because I don't know what the game's like. I'm not sure if he can go to the softs. I mean, it should be able to. But he's effectively on a qualifying medium tyre, but I know in real life they don't actually have a mandatory set of specific tyre. You just have to use the soft. You just have to use all three, one, two of all three compounds. Of the three compounds, and he effectively has done it. But sometimes the game's a bit weird, and you have to use a specific tyre. There's a qualifying medium and there's a race medium. So he's on the qualifying medium, but maybe the game stopped that or fixed that or something. I don't know. Just has to do the soft, use the 2 tyre rule, then he's fine. So I don't know. We'll see later on. Maldi after qualifying, fixed his car, ready for the race. Starting P9, so look to get past Aaron Ocon at mediums. Doesn't be stuck behind him for too long. They got a bit of strategy, 2 stops all round, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 1 stop. I mean, they say the stops going to do about 16-15 laps. We all saw Dilemma do about 18 laps on them, and he was still going towards the end. So I don't see. I think we can go a lot further than the graphs actually tell us. But everyone's queuing up into their slots. There you go, nice little view. Another glitch start as per usual. Now it's 5 lights. And now it's away we go, and it's an absolute stormer start from Fresh. Absolutely no competition, but it is 3 wide with the AlphaTauri and the Williams and the Alfa Romeo, and it's going to crunch. There's been a crash. There's been a race crash that was expected. There's no other reason what's going to happen when you're 3 wide. You're going to be pushed off. You're going to be squeezed. You are going to be compromised, and that's exactly what's happened. Aaron Ocon's up to 4th place on 7 mediums. There's an absolute kerfuffle as Williams hitting the back of his teammate, and the Haas is getting pushed off wide. There's more front wing damage being off there. That might be the Mercedes of Captain Bag. I'm not sure, but we've got 2 Williams cars having kerfuffles right now, and the Mercedes is pinched. The Mercedes is going up the inside. It's Captain Bag still up the inside. I don't think he's got a front wing. I think he has damage. Not sure what he's doing. There's 3 cars going off the track here, and it's bunching everyone up. And ST Maldi's down to P13. It's been a terrible start for him, but he doesn't look like he's got any damage. He's got a Ferrari going off the track. Maldi's just opened up, and Maldi with a saber move up the inside. He's just gained about 3 places, and he's really pushed that car. He's really making sure that his Alpine is ahead of the Aston Martin. Now overtake is going to be dumped, but I think Aston Martin might just have the lead, and he has to back out as F1 Red does have the gap on him, and that's going to watch out for Maldi for track limits there. Oh, there's a good exit though. He's having a good exit. We've also got, I think, a McLaren and Williams side by side as well. We've got 2 side by side actions going into turn 1. Maldi's got the move on the Aston Martin. Hybrid's got the move on Pete. So we've got absolute move galore. And Aaron Ocon's now going for a move on Jackson up into turn 3. Up the inside of mediums. He's starting P8. What an absolute super start for the Mercedes driver. And I think I've already killed my flow right now. This is amazing. I can't stop commentating. Well, everything's going around. We have split up. We had 3 cars in the pits after that crash. Papa Devil's even not included in that, and he wasn't even in that battle. Hybrid's understeering like a pig. Maldi's just breezed through. Look, I think Hybrid might have damage because he seems to be struggling a lot. He's going wide everywhere, and he's understeering quite a lot. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the medium tyres, maybe it's just heavy fuel, I'm not sure. But he's got no pace right now. Captain Bag, understeering in the second last corner. So people need to use my setup. Aaron Ocon centre fast lap. He is super quick on those mediums. I did say look out for him. I did say that before the race. On those mediums, he's only 3/10 off in qualifying. But he's used all of his ERS up already. He's used every single bit of inch of it of his ERS, and that's going to pay dividends. For the race, he's already turning it on. Like, what is he doing with the ERS? Like, he's turning it on every single time on the straight. Now he's got no ERS left. What he's doing actually. Oh, he's hit the back of him! And now Ocon's hit the back of Viper, and he's pushing his way through, and he's made the move stick. Oh, I'm not sure if that was a very, I was saying a very, I won't say dirty move, but it's a very naughty move, that's for sure. But he's got past, and there's it's Hybrid in the wall. That's Jackson. Jackson's out. He's binned it at exit of turn 6 and 7. And is there going to be a safety car? It doesn't look like it. Just yellow flags. Not even a virtual. So not even a virtual safety car. So it's a little bit surprising there. I think Parker, Papa Devils and Gabrielle would have been hoping for a safety car, but it hasn't come their way. We've got Pete all over the back of Hybrid, but no, we haven't got Pete over the back. We've got Francis all over the back of Pete. Francis is making absolute muggins of Pete there, and Pete's got nothing to ask. And he's not really defended, to be honest, despite also having DRS. He's going to get it around the outside, but those medium tyres really seem to be working surprisingly well. In its opening stints, we've got Haas off the track, I think that's Gabrielle. Not sure what he's doing over there. Hybrid's taking the alternate line through there. Hybrid's already got a penalty, so you can't be picking much more of them. You can't be having a penalty at lap 4, because otherwise, at this rate, effectively, he'd have 9 penalties by the end of the race if he keeps going where he's going. At that point, I'm pretty sure he'll be disqualified. Now we've got DRS. Francis now got DRS on Hybrid. He's looking to make his moves up the grid. Should be quite an easy move, but Hybrid's got plenty of DRS to use. And he's going around the outside, up to turn 2, which comes to the outside for turn 3. Then McLaren's outbroke himself a little bit there, and Francis is looking to do a straight back move. Francis will have DRS, and it should be an easy pickings now. It should be no issue at all. I mean, Hybrid's using his ERS, and he's diving up the inside! Francis doing a straight back move again, but he doesn't look like he's made it stick though. But he's on the grass. Francis is on the grass. I don't know what's going on. I need a better camera. Around the outside for Francis, and it just, no, he can't do it. I don't know, Hybrid just stuck it to the inside there and thought, you know what, no, you're not having it, okay, because I'm having it. Go the other way around. And he's forced him into a wide line. They've got Pete literally pushing Francis along, and that dirty air is really hurting into that corner. Also got Pirilol at the back of the strange, watching it all happen. Francis is getting closer and closer and closer and closer, but he doesn't. We don't want to make a move into turn 1. It's not a move. It's not an overtaking corner, despite the DRS. But he's got to watch out for Pete behind, because Pete's being a bit tasty. Oh, he's going to outbreak himself, and he's got a penalty for that. He's completely outbroke himself there. That's his own fault for that. You can't expect. You can't break it. You're not a breaking point when you've got 2 people fighting in front of you, and that's not just got a penalty. He's also lost a position because of a compromised exit, and that's his own fault. He's only himself to blame for that. What an absolute threader start we've had so far. We've only had 1 retirement. We did have a bit of a crash with 3 drivers at the start, but apart from that, it's been absolutely crystal clean. There's barely been much contact at all. 18.5 has got a penalty. It's going to pay dividends into the race. Oaken's looking over him and thinking, yeah, I've got this guy now. He's going to make the move into turn 1. That's no, this is not going to go well. Yeah, Katie Vipers that gave him way too much room, more than he actually needed. I mean, he got the move done, but it's just not an overtaking corner, and it frightened Viper, because Viper knows that that is not an overtaking corner you're supposed to overtake on, unless you're really got the move done before you actually got into the braking zone, or he's slowing down. Oh, it's a virtual safety car. Oh, Hybrid's... What's Hybrid doing? I'm not sure what he's doing. He's got a broken front wing, and he's going really slow. So I'm not sure what he was doing there. But it's created a virtual safety car. I was thinking why everyone's slowed down. Didn't see the thing pop off. But we've got a virtual. I don't know if anyone will pit. I don't know, Mardy's up into P4, Mardy's already been put forward, but Mardy's had a decent start. He had a bad start, but he's picked himself back up into P4 somehow. People might be pitting, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, it's quite. And then speed driving penalty for Hybrid speeding into the safety car. Yeah, and he's shook himself up, to be honest. Yeah, the virtual safety car wasn't quite out long enough to make anyone do pit stops. But it's just a bit too early, and if you pit now, you're committing to a hard time 1 stop, or you're committing to a 2 stop. I don't think anyone wants to do either of those Everyone wants to do one stop onto the mediums or onto the softs, and the medium runners definitely can't do that. And Francis and Captain Bag are both pitted. There's front wing changes going on for Francis. What happened to Francis? Could have been involved with hybrid, and that's why hybrid was off the track. Could that be led to that? Seems mostly like that. Fresh doing what he did yesterday, not yesterday, sorry, last week. Leading the race, dominating the start, but he's got to watch out for safety cars. I know Fresh likes to repel the safety car than actually attract it. He does really well when there's no safety car. As soon as the safety car comes out, it's like war with infinite death. ATM Fire put up the ice on there. I think what's going on here? I think Barker's made a mistake. You can see gravel on his tyres. I think he's made a mistake somewhere. And Repper Devils and Red Hawk has got through. Right, let's look at the Red Hawk now. I'll say that, we'll get a penalty. I remember Red Hawk, we're doing a team racing, I think it was GRT, I can't remember who the other team was. And he was practically holding like 4 of the other team's drivers up, but like really well. And he basically carried us and just let us carry the lead, and then they weren't able to catch up in the end. And he just held everyone up so well, because he's not exactly the quickest of drivers, but if he has enough pace and defends well, I know he can be quite decent in defending. So he might be taking that into account. What he did then, he might be getting his inner GRT moments and he's getting his defending mood in when he needs it. What he needs to do when it comes to Papa Devils is closing up on those hards. Barker has a mistake, closing back end down on Papa Devils on those hard tyres, who should be thinking again in the McLaren circuit, that's hardly hybrid. I don't know what he's doing for us. He's got front wing damage. Pit! Oh yeah, he has. Oh! Bag spun around the last corner. And, I don't know. People shouldn't really be spinning at the last corner, to be honest. I mean, I'm not sure how people are doing it, because I don't have an issue going with the exit turn or the last corner, to be honest. So for me, it's turn 1 and turn 4 and turn 6 I have issues with. Maybe the second last corner. Maybe turn 4. Melee. I only have issues with turn 7 and the second to last corner, mainly. Anywhere else, I shouldn't be having too much an issue with. Fresh is just thrown away. He's 5.6 seconds ahead of Aaron Ocon. We've got big battles going on. I think Francis and Papa Devils here. Francis on a lot fresher mediums. Oh, Barker's went round and Francis had to take an avoiding action. And, I mean, I can understand. He got scared and he disqualified. Hybrid was disqualified. Not sure how. But Francis obviously got scared. But obviously he's worried he's going to go into the straight side of Barker. Barker's using, I don't know, I think they're using a drift setup than anything else. And Francis got obviously absolutely crapped his pants. And had to take avoiding action, but as soon as he did, his car ghosted. So I think Francis committed to the corner and say like normal and Captain Bag tyres. If Francis committed to the corner like he normally would and didn't worry about Barker, he would have ghosted through them. But obviously when you're driving you don't know that, and you're gonna do anything to ruin your race of damage. So it's cost him a good few seconds to say, but I mean, yeah, he didn't know the car was going to ghost or not. You don't know when the car's going to ghost, so you can't see if it's actually ghosting or not until you get close enough to it. But I think it's better to be safe than not. KTM Vipers in the pits. For front wing change, surprising. I'm not sure when he did that damage. I'm not sure when he got it or where he got it. But he's had to make it slightly onto the hards. I just don't think that's the way to go. I think the mediums is probably the better tyre, to be honest. I think the mediums is the better tyre to go on. I don't think the hards is not going to be the great tyre, because people will be pitting soon. Maybe in a couple of laps onto the mediums, and he's going to be sitting duck for the rest of the race compared to them. So I don't think it's the way to go. I think he should just gone to the mediums and stuck it to the end. Those mediums can do. They can do 24 laps. For sure. Might be a little bit of a push, but it's definitely possible. And he's got a penalty. I'm going to just deep it for a second. SE Maldi is currently in P2 ahead of Aaron Ocon. Effectively in Aaron for P2 and P3 right now. It does look like Aaron Ocon starting to close Maldi down. As those medium tyres do start to come in, those soft tyres are going to start wearing out a little bit more than those mediums will. But we have got a fight going on for P2. To give Maldi a bit of instructions to say you can pit around lap 12, lap 13 onto the mediums, but it's only in those tyres, which is a bit too worn out. And Aaron Ocon has a very specific driving style with that corner. It's very jabby. Doesn't really keep it. Doesn't try and keep a consistent steering lock. He kind of just keeps jabbing it, and that's the and there's a penalty there. I saw that wide at turn 6, and then too wide on the entry to turn 7. Too much jabbiness on the wheel. Maldi's going out for another lap. I'm expecting maybe pit stops to start happening at the end of this lap, maybe towards lap 16ish, around there, for these soft runners to pit. Pardon me. Bit gassy. But it seemed to die down, and there's yellow flags for KTM Viper. Maybe had a little bit of a moment on those hards. Those hards, I think, they're not exactly very enjoyable to be on. And it's really just doesn't seem to work out. I just think they're just a little bit too sluggish, and I just don't really have a very good grip. To be honest, I think medium tyres are perfect tyres to be on. Happy Devil's now retired. It's just gone straight on at the second to last corner. He has. I'm not sure why he did that. It's created a full safety car. So that's everyone on soft pitting now. It's in on the end of this lap. That's for sure. So the only problem is Maldi's got to wait for fresh. I'm to Aaron Ocon, by the way. He's lost like 4 seconds to Maldi. But everyone should be pitting now. Despite fresh might be in the pits, but I mean his car should be out in time, but obviously be a little bit delayed with the safety car crew. But Maldi shouldn't lose. Lose anything to Aaron Ocon though. Shouldn't lose 2 seconds. Let's see. The Ferrari keeps going. Not sure that's the way to go, to be honest. Oh, near that's that delay that I was talking about. Will he get ahead of him? Yeah, I think Aaron Ocon had some traffic himself, to be honest. So Maldi, I think, still in the theoretical, and I think he's now in a theoretical P2, and I can confirm that. Only period I was ahead of him because pit, so we've got fresh Maldi effectively now into effective net P2. Started at about P8, dropped down to like P13. Then after a little bit of a kerfuffle at turn 6, gained 3 or 4 positions, pulled himself back up into like a P4 after a few incidents here and there. Got himself into P3 for half the last few laps or so. And then now in a net P2. Because of KTM Viper's a little bit of a moment. So it's just going brilliant well for Maldi. The only thing he's got to watch out for is penalties, as Fresh doesn't have any. It's tempting to look at the penalties, but I don't want to, because I just feel like that's just going to ruin the whole effect of the race. I like to keep the unpredictability in this race. I'm going to say Periol's going to be so slow on his mediums. I don't know why he's pitted. I mean, yeah, you don't want to go onto the hards, but I think at this point, you don't really have a choice. I mean, I'd rather go on the hards and try and keep what you can get to the end, and try and hold off, than staying out the mediums, getting overtaken by absolutely everyone, and in the process you get very irritated because you're losing all those positions, and because you're losing all those positions, you keep losing that speed, and you don't have any consistency, and you lose all your flow. At the same time, your tyres are already going off. He's going to pit me in about 3 or 4 laps. And then he's going to be dead last by about 10 seconds. And he's going to catch everyone up on similar tyres what everyone else is on right now. So it doesn't really quite work out. And he's got his own penalties as well, so he's not going to gain on penalties either. So Pirlo, really has screwed himself up, to be honest. I think Red Hawk it's not as bad because his tyres are a little bit newer, and he's probably going to have to pit anyway at some point. But at least he has a little bit better tyres, and maybe just doesn't want to be on those tyres. I think he saw on the soft, didn't he? I don't know actually. I don't know what tyres I dropped on, to be honest. Can't remember. He started the mediums. He's done the mediums. So, I mean, he doesn't have a fresh set of softs that the mediums are left. I mean, they're only about 6 laps warm, but, I mean, not going to do 20 laps plus the 6 laps he did before. So, he wouldn't do that. So, Big Hulk doesn't really have much of a choice, but either to go on to the hards or stay out a bit longer and go on to the mediums. I mean, he's picked sorry, not the mediums, the softs. And it shows that softer option. He's obviously going to stay out another 10 laps or so, and then slap on a set of softs at the end. I hope he didn't actually use all his qualifying sets of tyres in the qualifying, so there's a fresh set for the race. That's one thing we can't check. Yeah. We've seen a lot of these positions before where the person that's leading is the one person on the late worn tyres and everybody else is on fresher, medium or hard tyres. And it's a lot, we've seen that, I saw that once in Brazil in Tier 1 a couple of weeks ago, where somebody stayed out on worn hards and everybody else on fresh mediums or fresh hards. Fresh mediums and fresh softs. Against fresh mediums and fresh softs. And he just got absolutely mugged. Left, right and centre. And then a couple of laps later he pitted. And then he retired a couple of laps later because he was that far behind after all that. He dropped down to like 10th, then pitted. I mean, he may have just pitted from lap 1 and from the first safety car first gone in. He would have lost less time that way. So there's no benefit by doing this because he's going to get taken. He's going to get overtaken anyway. He's going to lose even more times, losing time to getting overtaken, than actually just losing his pace himself and just sitting ahead of everyone. Crash is looking to try and overtake him. Coming very early. Oh, he's back out again. That he should not be doing that. He's created an absolute train of incidents here. Everyone thought he went, and Pirlo's just absolutely created, and they're just collisions happening. Exactly, don't do this. Pirlo made a big mistake there. He floored it, then broke, and he's creating some incidents. And Spice going to get damage from that. And I think there might be a trip to Stewart's for that for Pirlo. We should not be doing that. That's a corner cut by now. I think I just got a glimpse of that. And Francis, I think, might have damage here because she's got a warning, a bit of damage leading to that. We've got freshers all over the back of Pirlo. Pirlo's tyres are not in good condition. Already coming to the end of the line. Those mediums can't be doing much more than about like 26 laps. 25 laps. And he's already doing 17 of them. Okay. Generally, normally you wouldn't take them much further than that 20 laps. And fresh. Oh, I think there might be some contact there. I'm not sure. Definitely like there's a bit of some touches going there. And fresh is all. Look how close everyone is. Everyone's nose to tail. And Aaron Ocon's using all of his ERS to the point where he's deployed it all. I don't know what Aaron Ocon's strategy is with the ERS, but he just likes to dump it. And he's all over the place and melding with the sake here, but Aaron Ocon has no ERS, and that's what happens when you don't use it in a very efficient way. But Fresh is literally pushing Pirlo around here. Pirlo. Fresh is looking inside. Maldi's getting involved in this. This is Maldi's chance for late victory. Maldi's going to be shitting himself here. Sorry for my language. There's any way to explain it. Oh, that's contact. That's contact then. Aaron Ocon's been caught in it. Aaron Ocon's hard, and now Fresh has lost multiple positions because of that. And Maldi's now fighting for the lead. But I think Maldi might sit out for this race, but Maldi might get past him. He's getting inside. Pirlo, oh, guys, going to be a squeeze. Pirlo's kept just the space, and Maldi's took the lead. The STB Maldi has taken the lead. He's going to push. Go, Maldi, go like the wind. use that tyre advantage and pull a DRS advantage over Pirlo. Pirlo hopefully will lose everyone time, give Maldi some gap. But there's a Red Hawk off at turn 7. Classic turn 7 incident, and there's another safety car. I think I might just needed that. I'm not sure Maldi would be happy with that or not, but he's lost that gap with Pirlo. Pirlo's definitely got to pit now. And Maldi's now leading. You know what? You can pit for softs now and go to the end. But I'm not sure that's the way to go. I mean, if Maldi decides to pit and go into softs, he might drop down about 10 million places, but it might actually be the way to go. I don't know. It'd definitely be a choice for people lower down in the grid. But it is that time now where the softs can go to me. And can actually Matador go into the pit lane without speeding once? Every single time he's gone into that pit lane, Matador, he's sped into it every single time, but not seen him do it, go in the pit lane once and not gone through it without speeding. Not once this season so far. Well, let's see what everyone does. Because Maldi doesn't pit and everyone else pits, like literally everyone. Then Maldi's screwed. Because everyone will be on fresh softs, he'll be stuck behind the safety car. And yeah. He's not pitting. He's not pitting. This could be major. Oh, now coming to the last move. He thought about it and then decided to stay out. To be honest, if I was him, I would probably have pitted. But it doesn't look like anyone else is pitting. So this might be massive for Maldi. Francis is pitting and Pirlo's pitting. Pirlo's pitting for obvious reasons. And Akon's got a penalty for focusing on the safety car. Francis is pitting as well because he's not really near as means to the end. Yeah, Maldi stayed out. He had to hope everyone else stayed out, and he pretty much effectively got that. He's only got Pirlo and Francis to worry about on softs, but I mean, these guys are going to get past about 6, 7, 8 cars before he gets close in. So he isn't going to worry about them for now. But everyone's in the same boat here, to be honest. So no one decided. If I was people like somebody like Gabriel or even Aaron Ocon, I probably would have pitted, to be honest. Get rid of those hards, get a fresh set of softs on, and just try and push the end because Pirlo and Francis already pitted. So they're being guaranteed at least P10 coming on the pits. And there's position changes on the safety car. I don't know what's going on there. Gabriel's made a mistake. He's done gravel over his tyres. Now lost the position to F1 Red. I mean, you can't pass him now because you get a legal overtake. So it's one of those snooze you lose situations. And if you're spinning on in the safety car, he's going to spin in the race, surely. Matador's strong. Matador's being Matador and not being quick enough in the safety car. And Aaron Ocon's gone for a very late safety car call. It's too late, I think. I mean, he's still going to come out P9, P10. But still. Oh, it's actually been quite close to this. But it's just gone ahead, just ahead of Francis. So that's crucial. But I think Aaron Ocon should have done it really last lap, to be honest. But it didn't seem like he lost too much from it anyway. But it just means he has 2 more people ahead of him. Oh, actually 1 person ahead of him, softs. Safety car should be in this lap because Matador's taking way too long to catch up right now. And I'm pretty sure Viper should be behind all this train. Find this lap. I'm just going slow on purpose so he can do another lap on the safety car, but it's too close to it. We'll pull the safety car in probably in this lap. And it will go another lap. The safety car will be out another lap because Matador's taking forever. Thanks, Matador. I mean, you should be able to catch the safety car within 2 laps. The fact is, it's been 2 laps now, and he's still a good 30 seconds behind. It's just making the safety car lap longer. It's helping, well, it's helping everyone now. It's helping everyone in the mediums to make those tyres go to the end a bit better. It's also helping the soft tyres because they're not wearing out the tyres very much. But he's going. Why is he going so slow? Why is he going so slow for? I don't get it. What's his plan? And what is Viper doing? He's gonna get penalised here if he's not careful. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get some heat into his tyres and trying to get fill up fuel. But be careful he doesn't get bloody penalised for dropping back from the safety car. SE Maldi needs a good start here. Don't forget, Fresh and doesn't have any penalties. Only Lucas, Pete and Maldi in the top 7 have got penalties. Everyone else, pretty much everyone else behind has got penalties. So Maldi needs to be careful. Safety car is in this lap. Maldi will. I'm not sure when the last time he's ever done a safety car restart. He's not backing out. Why he's not backing up yet? Maldi, you gonna back down? No. You slow down? There you go, slow down a bit now. And then we go, we're waiting for the safety car restart to go. Fresh is pushing Maldi. Maldi's not going to go yet. Maldi can go whenever he wants, as long as he keeps the pace smooth and doesn't make any sudden changes in sudden alterations in speed. And he's gone now. Might have gone a bit early, to be honest. See that little bit of dim? You see that little bit of adjustments there? That's the track. That's the game kicking over. And he's side by side with Fresh, and that's really hit Maldi and Fresh Mavis. Maldi's going to have to back out. Maldi's completely screwed himself up there. So that he has the lower wings. Oh, it's just. Maldi's going to go up the inside into turn 3. He's going to make the move stick. What a move! He's retaking P1. And Fresh can't do anything about it. There's no DRS as of yet. Lucas is now all over the back of Fresh, but there's no move being done. It's now P1-2 still for now. There you go. Maldi managed to re-get his P1. You've got to hope Fresh gets a penalty, but Fresh is very good on these penalties. Maldi can't afford another one, otherwise he'll be losing places to Barker and Red. And saying that, Fresh has had a massive moment to the exit of the second to last corner, and that's just cost him a couple of tenths. You have to use more of that ERS to try and keep up with Maldi. He needs to keep within ERS here, Maldi here. They say to Maldi at turn 1, it's sometimes better to lose about 2 or 3 tenths and avoid not getting a warning, then push it a bit harder, carry the speed, and then get a warning, because it's a lot easier to save 3 seconds than lose it. Oh, sorry, it's a lot better to lose a few tenths than 3 seconds. And as an Aston Martin when it's F1 red, F1 red is round. That's one of the people, and that's one of the runners that were with no penalties, and I believe he's probably dropped it on himself. Francis got past Gabriel. I'm not sure why Gabriel's on 10 hard. I don't think it's going to be very quick. Pirello's unable to overtake anyone yet on track, apart from Gabriel. And Ocon actually dropped. Ocon was standing like he was having a P9. So had a very bad moment when he stopped. He wants to get back into those mean zone, Ocon does. But yeah, we've got Fresh on the back of Maldi now. I think the DRS has just been enabled, I believe. And it should be actually quite an even move in the end for Fresh. Fresh has used a lot of overtake. Maldi's using some of his, but it's just can't do anything. But Maldi will have DRS coming to turn 4. So Maldi can get this back. Fresh hasn't got too much DRS left, but Maldi does not have a very good exit. But Fresh is running out of deployment. Maldi was seeing that red flashing light, saying that telling him just instant information that Fresh is low on ARS. Sees it again there. Just telling Maldi that he's low on ARS. Keep the pressure on. Don't let him save it. Oh, that's really deceiving, that corner is, so the camera angle. Looks like they go all off the track. Lights still flashing for Fresh. Oh, that's very wide. I think he might have avoided a warning there. But these two Alpines are going at it again. Maldi needs to hope he gets a penalty. Maldi's going for the move now. He's getting the move done now. He's like, screw it, I'm making it move now. Screw him. I'm getting past him now. And Fresh with the overtake button, overtake left. He's not going to have any answer. He doesn't have DRS. Maldi should be able. Neither of them got DRS. Neither of them have DRS. What's going on? Maldi's lost the position again, but Maldi's hoping to do the same thing as last time. Fresh has, again, lower on DRS, but Maldi's just not close enough. Doesn't quite have a good exit. Because his DRS just draws him back in. Doesn't need to use overtake. DRS does enough to catch him back up. This grid is just not closing. It's not opening up at all. Soft runner's not really making the impact I was expecting, to be honest. I was expecting like people like Viper and Pirilol and Francis and I was going to say I can't place pitted to really try and push over medium runners, but I think being this train doesn't really help them. I think that one of the guys, not who it was, just need to go wide. FDE Barker, I was going to say set fast lap. KTM Viper set fast lap 16.4. Yeah, sorry, 6.4, not 16.4. About 2 seconds slower than it was in qualifying we were doing. This time Maldi is a lot closer to Fresh. Fresh just have Fresh has no overtake left at all. Should be an easy move. Look at him fly past. Absolute sitting duck, Freshers. And that's what happens. That's being somebody that's good on the ERS management versus somebody who just dumps it all. And that's what you can do. Yeah, you can push a lot of the ERS a lot more, using it a lot more, but you lose that power in the most important parts of the race. And that's defending, and that's a. I mean, that wasn't a track thing. That was a new track layout by STB and Aldi through turn 7 there. But if it gives him that advantage he needs, I guess it won't be useful, but it's not being to say, oh, Maldi had a move with the model there. Oh, and that's Lucas out. Lucas in the barriers. Lost the exit turn last corner. It's not the first time that's happened. And there's another safety car. What will people do? What will people pit or not? Because this is interesting now. What will people do? To be honest, I mean, you could go into softs, but then you've got to do about 4 laps to overtake everyone you just had to lose your positions to get on the soft tyres. Like, you know what I mean? You've got to somehow get past everyone. And you know, it's not exactly easy to overtake when everyone's in a train. So I don't think pitting softs is, I mean, if everyone does it, then yeah. But when one person does it and they can't out-sync, it's not as easy as you think it is. Because everyone's kind of in their own little scale entry track. And then they're just them, not enabled and stuck in it. So, I wonder what everyone else will be doing. I think if Maldi doesn't pit and Fresh does, Maldi's ready to lose. Maldi pits! Maldi pits! Maldi decides to pit. He's going on to that soft tyre. Do not be in the pit lane, Maldi. Maldi's gone to the move. Barker's done the same thing. So quite a few people are pitting. This could actually be Maldi's race to win now, because everyone else is pitting, apart from Pete and Fresh and Viper. This, if Maldi comes back out in the P4, which he has, all he's got to do is overtake Viper, Pete, on fresh softs, I believe, that haven't done many laps, if not none, and then manage to get a 3-second gap on Fresh. Maldi could win this race, but I don't know what penalty situation we're on. Maldi could have 1 penalty, or could have 5. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track, but I haven't actually seen any. I've only seen it pop up once. Well, I haven't seen it pop up at all, but obviously I missed it. But I've not seen many penalties come off Maldi, so I don't know. He could be in a 1-1 penalty, but I don't know. I know as much information that all the people are watching right now. but this makes it super interesting. But yeah, Maldi's on the fresh softs. Yes, he's ahead of all this train and all the fresh tyres, but he can't disregard the people that are behind him because they're in this exact same situation that he is. So Barker could try and get past Maldi as quickly as possible, and Maldi will lose his effective net lead on the people on the fresh tyres. He wants to keep that 4th place because if he can keep that 4th place, he can then try and battle KTM Viper. KTM Viper might be a little bit harder to overtake than Peter and Fresh because those soft tyres might just be a little bit more better than those mediums that Viper's on compared to Peter Fresh. But I don't know. Viper's softs just easily get to the end. Just be a lot more worn, that's all. Yeah, it's interesting. We've got Matadors also. Pretty much everyone's pitted. Aaron Ocon's kept going. Aaron Ocon had such a good start. He had an absolute stunner of a start. And ever since he came off those mediums on his first stint, he's not been the same driver he was on those mediums on that first stint. He's not been the same driver. And on that first stint, he was very quick and he was very optimistic in what decision making he was doing. And how he planned everything out. And then as soon as he's got off those mediums, he's made a few clumsy moves. He's done some very unpredictable things, some dodgy things. Like just not being very, very clean in terms of keeping the car on its track. But I think it's our 3rd safety car or 2nd safety car. I can't remember. And Wilson decided to join with 5 laps to go. Got one more lap of the safety car, should be the last one. But this is not what Maldi wants. Maldi wanted the safety car to go as quickly as possible, but Aaron Ocon, if I'm red, is so far behind, is keeping out the safety car for another lap. So it's just, the more laps the safety car takes, the more and more it hurts these people to try and get past Viper, Pete and Fresh. Because it gives them less laps to try and overtake. And Maldi, if he wants to win this race, he's got to overtake all 3 of them in 3 laps. And fill the 3-second gap. If Fresh does not get a penalty, I think Fresh will still have his win. But for people like Maldi, Barker and Pirlo, I don't forget Barker's on no penalties. And Barker could get a penalty at near the end of the race, for all I know. But Barker's on for a P2 here, effectively. So Barker's looking very, very tasty, but we know what Barker's happened. Barker's He's been off the track a few times this race. He had he had his own few mistakes, and it's really hurting across races. He's been spinning a few times. Some a couple of times going on the gravel just for here, while he's on the hards. So it's going to be interesting. If Barker can keep it clean, which he hasn't been able to do with most of the race, he's got a good chance to actually get a good P2. I don't know what the penalty situation is. But we've got 3 laps to find out, or 4 laps to say actually. 33, 34, 35, 36, that's 4 laps. And Fresh hasn't really built any sort of gap to the safety car, but he's just going to go out the last corner. And off we go. Francis has been given an instant 3-second time penalty on safety car restart. Not what you want. Now Maldi's making moves already. Maldi's got a penalty. That's Maldi over. That's Maldi's race. Out now. He's caught the last second of the corner, and that's Maldi's win out the window now. That's it now. I think he might even be in the podium this race because of that. And Maldi's got to watch out for Pete. He's up inside of Pete. Oh, what a move! He might have just got a penalty, but what a move! Maldi's making no prisoners here, and he's got moves done. I was not expecting that. I don't think he was even meant to do that. It just came up and opened up for him. He thought, you know what, I can actually do this. All he needs now, if Maldi can really pull a gap and get back up to Fresh and build, hopefully, if he can build up a good 3-second gap, maybe he has a chance. And Barker, I did say Barker would do some mistakes. He's lost 3 positions and now Aaron Ocon. Again, I told you, Aaron Ocon. Go for wing, I did say he was really good in the first stint, but he's just dropped off. I don't know what's happened to him this race. Alright, we've got all we've got all the admins joining now. We have Brand join and NOS Mercury join. Oh. Pirlo's got a penalty, so that's going to help people, everyone else around him. Penalty is crucial. Another £5 to fight for you. And Ocon's got another penalty for you in the pit lane. With no fault wing. Maldi's over back at the fresh now. Maldi's already got Pete out of DRS, but that's not the point. He needs to get out of that 3-second window. I don't know what penalties everyone's on. Maldi needs to get past Fresh. Fresh doesn't have to defend his position. You can just let Maldi go. Because Fresh shouldn't lose 6 seconds in 2 laps. Like, it doesn't matter if he's on an 18 lap on mediums. It shouldn't happen. I'd even watch out though if there's anybody for penalties as it is. We're seeing more battles going on. We've got Gabriel and Pirlo going to have a side. We've got Francis getting a move. I don't know what's going on. And I think that's Gabriel round. It's just people getting caught up. People really battling now, trying to get positions. Oh, that's that's close. And Pirlo's got damage and Pirlo's in the pit. I mean, I know he's got damage, but I don't know why he's pitting because they're still trying to stick it out. Maldi set the fastest lap of the race, and Maldi will get an extra point for the fastest lap. Will Fresh defend? Fresh doesn't have much able to overtake left, and Maldi's going to make his move stick. And I don't think Fresh actually is not going to defend this. I think Fresh knows he hasn't got a penalty, or maybe he's just waiting for his next DRS point. So far, Maldi's made a good impression, but Fresh is too far behind to make a move on Maldi. He's too far behind. So Maldi now has to make 1.5 qualifying laps to build some sort of gap and maybe try and pick up a P2 here. He's still got Barker to worry about. Maldi really needs to dig deep right now, and Fresh just needs to keep it clean. It's very important for Fresh not to get a penalty here. And Pete's got a penalty, so that takes any sort of pressure off Maldi from Pete, so that takes Pete any sort of reputation for battling this podium. Always cutting again. Maldi's setting up fast enough of the race, really showing what his pace can do. But he's not pulling off really as much as I thought he would, but Fresh is just sitting in his DRS. Maldi needs to use that overtake efficiently as possible. But if he's got a nice 3.3 second gap to Viper. So that's a 3-second gap done, so there might be just about good enough. Will it be enough though? Will Barker keep it? Barker's got the position on Pete. It was a very easy move. I think Barker might get P2 here. Barker might have P2 and it might be Maldi P3. That's what it seems to be. Fresh maybe P1. That's what it seems to be the situation right now. Barker's keeping it clean enough. Aaron Ocon, people are replacing Maldi's found his fastest laps. I don't think Maldi's going to do it here. I don't seem to. It looks like Maldi might even be in Pete. Oh, Barker's lost position. Barker's lost position to Pete. And I think that'd be crucial. That just lost Barker a lot more time than what he needed. Here's the finish line. Maldi will cross the line P1. He will lose P1. He will get P2. Viper will get P3. Pete will get P4. What will Barker get? Barker gets P3. It's Maldi P2 then. Barker's got P3. Matador's up to P4. Matador, who's been absolutely nowhere this whole race. He's been dead last. The whole race, he was a lap down, or not close to lap down, a minute behind the whole race. And these safety cars, and him not getting any penalties, has clawed him a P4 finish. Absolutely insane. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you do not retire, you don't give up during halfway through or at the start of the race. Just keep going. Who cares you're a minute down? Just keep going. A safety car could come in, you could pit, and you not have any penalties, and you could clear off a P4 finish. This is why you don't give up in the race, and it's given driver of the day, to be honest. I mean, it's so difficult to choose from, and it's just but it's difficult to say. We've got so many good results, so many good drivers out there today have done really well, and it's difficult to choose from. Fresh has done a solid P1 finish, just committed the whole way through, done nothing wrong. Maldi with those 2 penalties really hurt him in the end, but does get P2. Barker in P3 with a fabulous recovery with after a couple of mistakes. Mastor will get P4. Viper will get P5, Francis P6, P7, Gabriel P8, Pirlo P9, Efren Red P10, Aaron Ocon P11, and the non-finishers were Lucas Redhawk, Pepper Devils, Captain Bag, and Jackson Hybrid, who got disqualified, I believe. So that was qualifying, I think, wasn't it? But that is the results. I don't know. Mathol did so well in terms of penalties, but really, Mathol wasn't really anywhere the whole race. It's so difficult to do so. And Bram's reminded me to do podium interviews, but I definitely haven't forgot that. Invite Maldi, and I'm not sure Barker will be in for interviews or not. I don't know why Bram's micromanaging me. I'm quite clearly very, very experienced in doing this job. So yeah, I might try and... I'm not sure if Barker will join, to be honest. I'm not sure. Fresh, I don't think Fresh really knows much English, to be honest. I'm not so sure if Fresh knows much English. I know he's Russian, but I think he might not know any English. I'm not sure. I'm trying to get Maldi into the party here. He doesn't seem to be joining. I don't know. I'm not going. Oh, yes, here's Messi and Maldi into the party. I think Maldi might be an interview in here. I'm not sure if Fresh knows much English, to be honest. So we will interview STB Maldi here. If you'd like to include your audio.
Hello.
Well, Maldi, it was a very, very it was a very interesting race for you. I mean, you had actually a rather disappointing initial start, and you did very well to claw your way through. And then the safety car came out, and then you made some choices on tyres and strategy.
Yeah.
Just put your run through on your race there.
Well, on the start, I got clipped at the back, so I was a little bit fuming. I'm not going to lie, I thought that the race was over at that point, but I continued, obviously. Went to the lap 15, 14 for softs. Safety car helped me out a bit. And then basically, I think just me and Fresh were just working as a team. I think it's banging Alpine 1-2. Incredible. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's a shame though that I didn't keep the car on the track. I put it on the red and white curbs, and I got penalties. So that's not very good. But yeah, I'm happy that the actual Tier 3 helped me win tonight. They let me win. They let me finish first on tracks. That's good. But no, real talk. I'm happy, and I just want to say a big shout out to MC Cavino from Brazil. And thank you as well, that race, to Bram Nilsson and LRS Mercury as well. Because they obviously helped me with strategy and things, so that was really good. But yeah, Matt, I'm looking forward to Britain, and hopefully it will be another good race there.
Yep, so that's, well, very well explained and pretty much answered all my questions, to be honest. But that is Tier 3 done for today. And come back for next week. For Monday, we'll be... I'm not sure what track it is, actually, for Tier 1. It's France. France will be for Tier 1 next week, for you to join back with Bram Nilsson and SC Maldi in the combox for then. And then back for Tier 2 and Tier 3, we'll be back with Britain for... I believe it's round 7. So... come and join back us for then, and we will see you next week. And yeah, we'll see